more for you, you feel it. You know it. This is your life, and it's time to go from contender to champion. This is The Show with John Madsen.
Welcome back to The Show, everybody. I'm your host, John Madsen. This is The Show. Welcome back. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate every single one of you reaching out via DM, Instagram, or Facebook, sharing this message. The show has grown, and it's all because of you. Today, I got a great episode for you. There's only one thing that's holding you back. There's one obstacle. There is literally one obstacle that's holding you back from achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. This is actually somewhat of an epiphany for me. I heard it by somebody being talked about, and literally it's like the lights went on, and it's so true, and I wanted to share it with you. By no means of the imagination do I believe that all of the stuff I say or come up with was created by me. I am an avid learner. I like to read. I like to listen to podcasts. I like to listen to books. I like to conversate with people who I find interesting. And I like to conversate with people in general because I believe that every single person can teach me something. So as a learner, I have ideas popping into my brain, things that were talked about on another podcast, things that are talked about in another book, and there's so much information. There's this collective consciousness, this whole vast ability for every single one of us to tap into this enormous intelligence to find the answers. To find the answers that we need to move the needle forward. But out of everything, there's literally one thing that's standing in your way to achieving the body you want, to achieving the amount of money you want. It's standing in my way for me to reach the next level that I want. If I'm on a sales call, it's standing in the way of me getting the end result that I want. There's literally one thing, and that's what we're going to talk about. This one thing is certainty. How certain you are about the result that you actually want. Now, that might not seem like some grand epiphany, but let me explain. Whether a person, and if we're talking about fitness, and I've been in the fitness industry, as you know, over a decade, whether a person achieves what he or she wants pertaining to his or her fitness is going to come down to one thing. How certain that individual is that he or she can achieve the body that he or she wants. Certainty. Here's how you get it. Because most of the time when a person sits in front of me or is on the other side of the telephone and we're talking about fitness, the very first thing that I want to know, if I'm talking to them on the phone and I can't see them, I want to gather all the information that's actually factual. How much do you weigh? How tall are you? What have you tried before? Blah, blah, blah. If they're sitting in front of my face, I obviously can see what their body looks like, but I want to know from them what they actually want. A person's ability to be crystal clear in whatever it is that they want, whether they just want to be skinnier or whether they want to build a body of a Greek god. I want to know exactly what they want. After we get to the core of what they're really after, certainty is the key in the rest of the body of work that we're going to do. No matter what we choose to do, whether it's go low carb, high carb, paleo, keto, Atkins, vegan, whether we do powerlifting style workouts, whether we do CrossFit style workouts, literally all of that stuff is information, and none of it fucking matters until a person is certain. And here's how this plays out. If a person's struggling with their fitness, their certainty level is obviously very, very low in the department of them believing that they can achieve a certain level of fitness. If they come in and they need to lose 50 pounds, but they want to look like a Spartan from the movie 300, their certainty that they can achieve that is pretty low. So this is where it gets really interesting for a person. Because it doesn't matter what diet they choose to go on. Even if they get results, even if they decide that they're going to go keto and they lose an initial 20 pounds, as they get closer to the goal, almost inevitably, they're going to self-sabotage. They're going to self-destruct before they actually achieve the thing that they actually want. Because deep, deep down in the subconscious, they don't, A, believe that they can actually achieve it, they're uncertain, or B, they don't believe that they're worthy of it. And so it doesn't matter what they do, that person is absolutely never going to achieve the goal that they want. Same thing with money. You can play this scenario out with money. Your unconscious is going to decide whether or not you achieve what you want. If the unconscious is certain or it believes that you are unworthy, it does not matter what the fuck you do, you cannot and will not achieve the goal. That might sound depressing, but there's actually only 3 things that you need to do to achieve the one thing, certainty, that's going to allow you to hit your target. Here it is. The very first thing that you need is crystal clarity. What exactly do you want? Because without a target, you're going to be aiming all over the place. There's nothing for you to aim to. So I've talked about this before. You need to have a picture of exactly what it is you want. If it's money, you need to know exactly how much money you want and why. That's going to be imperative. Not only the first part of getting clear about what it is, but the deep reason why you want what you want. We've already covered that, so I'm not going to go into detail in this episode. The second thing that you need to raise your certainty, to raise your unconscious certainty so you can actually achieve what you want, is you need to find a person who has what you want or has gotten the result for many other people that you want. Why is that important? And I'm not just sitting here on a podcast as a coach telling you that you need a coach. Bill Gates famously said that one of his best decisions was hiring a coach. I already talked about this so many damn times. But here's the reasoning behind it. If certainty is the thing that you need unconsciously to be able to hit your goal, and because you're so far away from it, your certainty level is obviously very low at the start, you need to find a person who has exactly what you want or has gotten the result for a lot of different people, the same result that you want. Because if you can find that person, it doesn't really matter where your certainty is in the beginning. That person who's done it before and who's gotten the result for tens, dozens, hundreds of people, that person's certainty is so high you can borrow it. This is why it's so powerful. Or this is why my gym was so powerful back in the day when I was training high school athletes. I've had, just in that tiny little gym, over 100 athletes get big time college scholarships because they believed it was possible. So you take this athlete, brand new, doesn't matter where their certainty starts, they start seeing it all around them. They see my story, but then they start seeing the older kids earn that scholarship. We celebrate them in the gym. It becomes normalized. They become closer to the end result because their unconscious certainty rises. This is why people who try to do shit on their own fail miserably time after time after time. Yes, you can do it. This is why information for me doesn't matter. A person can go on the internet, print out a meal plan, print out a workout regime, get it for free, go at it on their own, and inevitably they're going to start struggling, and their certainty isn't high enough for them to ever achieve what it is they want. When they work with someone whose certainty is a 10 out of 10, if someone comes through my program, they want abs, I am 10 out of 10 certain that it doesn't matter who the fuck it is, depending on how long they want to work, I can get that result. So if they come in uncertain, they're borrowing me my certainty for a time period until their certainty is at the level that they need. It's incredible. It's incredible how much this makes a difference. And the last thing, we've talked about it all by itself on this show before, but this ties in perfectly. The last thing you need to raise your certainty up is a change in environment. And I talked about this just a second ago with the example of my gym. If a young kid sees dozens and dozens and dozens of other kids all striving for the same thing, and every single year he sees kids graduate with college scholarships, they worked out in the same gym, they were doing the same thing, that environment, that closed off environment away from all of the people who are not achieving that end result, raises that kid's certainty level. An environment is key to your success. How many times have you heard the saying, you're the average of the top 5 people you hang out with most? If you want to achieve something that is outside the realm of possibility from your environment as it stands right now, you literally have zero chance of achieving more until you change your environment. And the reason is because until you're certain that you can achieve whatever goal that you set out to achieve, monetarily, relationship, or fitness, you inevitably are going to come up short time after time after time. The secret behind any of this is to get your unconscious to believe on a scale of 1 to 10, a 10, that you, A, can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, and B, you're fucking worthy of it. And the 3 steps to raise your certainty unconsciously is 1, to get crystal clear about the target. 2, find a person who's done what you want or has done what you want for many other people. And 3, change your fucking environment. You do those 3 things, no matter what it is you're trying to achieve, your certainty level increases unconsciously, and it's inevitable that you're going to hit your goal. But as you think about what you really want right now, I want you to really get the depth of this message. You will not and cannot achieve it if you're uncertain about it. You must raise your certainty up if you're ever going to achieve what you want. Please, please, please think about what you want. Think about how you can right now raise that certainty up so that you can get what you want.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of The Show with John Madsen. The greatest compliment that you could give us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and then share it online with everyone that you know. Make sure to tag John as well. He loves to hear from listeners of the show. The links for all of his socials and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage John for anything related to his coaching, consulting, or programs, please visit johnmadsen.com for everything you'd need to know on how to engage with John offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Show.